Welcome to the channel, everyone. So today working on some parts for the BluePrint 400 motor that I have for my 70 Chevy truck. I'm going to be working on some valve covers. I'll show you what I picked up. So this is what I picked up for that 400 motor. I picked up some kind of old school Holley valve covers. I believe these are tall. They're a little taller than stock. Not necessarily, I don't think I need that for that motor, but this is how they come. These are probably, I would say, from the 70s. I think that's what they're from. I don't think you can get these new anymore. But I got a Holley 850 carb on that, so I figured, you know what, let's go with the Holley valve covers. I'm going to do a similar thing as I did to Dad. He has the Mickey Thompson valve covers. Now they're reproducing those, I know, but we actually got some old school ones that I cleaned up and painted, and like I said, I'm going to do something similar on this. You can see they got the Chevy on there too. But first thing first, I gotta take them out. It's decent out today, so I'm gonna run out there. I'm gonna sandblast these real quick because they're in really good shape. There's a few scratches here and there. I think I can sand them out, but they got a bunch of corrosion and stuff in there, and I want to get that all sandblasted off just to start with new, so then I can epoxy primer them, and then do what I do. So, yeah, I'm going to take these out. We'll get these sandblasted. Okay, so I've got them sandblasted pretty good. So you can see there's some places I didn't get the best, but I really was just after the fins there and this top side. I'll probably sand it with some 320 or something before I put some epoxy primer on it. But before I do that, I've got to drill out holes. You can see there's no holes drilled out. These look like they've been used. You can see they're kind of dirty on the inside. I don't know how they were used because there's no holes here. So I got to drill an 1.25 inch hole in each one of these, right here. One's going to have my oil cap. I'm probably going to use this. And then the other one's going to have a PCV valve. I got a grommet here, and then I'll put a PCV valve on it. So yeah, I got to drill some holes. Okay, so I'm going to drill the hole. I already drilled the pilot hole to try to get right in the center of this. Now I got my 1.25 inch. Got my 1.25 inch hole saw in my drill, and I'm going to drill this out. So there she be. This will be the PCV valve. And actually, you know what? I gotta swap this around. This one, because it'll be on the front of the motor, will be the oil fill, which will be this one. And I'm not sure I'd like it to be a little tighter than that. But this one's got to go here, and then this one will be on the back because the cover will be flopped around. So this will be in the back, so that's where the PCV valve will go. But you get the idea. I got the holes drilled, and I can't put it back in one-handed. Yeah, I can. So that's kind of what it'll look like. I have a vent with the bow tie that I could use. I got another grommet here. It's a bigger grommet. It's for a vent, and it's got the Chevy bow tie. So I could do that. This one's a little smaller, a little cleaner looking, but I've got options. Whatever I feel like doing, I guess I'll do. So now this is ready for epoxy primer. Okay, so first coat is on. I'm gonna do probably 2 coats of the primer here, and we'll be good. I've turned up the heater a little bit, and yeah. Looking good. Okay, so I got these covers in, it's actually a black epoxy primer. Now I was gonna go and I was gonna paint these a root beer metallic, which I think is what the truck is gonna eventually be. But I kind of like this black so much that I think I'm actually going to just sand all the fins off and the Holley, and I'm not gonna polish it. So this is what I'm after. And this actually, it's not, the fins and stuff they're not polished. It's more like a brushed look. You can keep sand in that, and I may go over it with like a 320 to try to get it maybe a little more polished than that. But yeah, this is what I'm after. Just exposing the fins and the Holley there, and then I'll clear coat this with the same satin clear coat that I did the rest of the engine. So I actually did the same type of thing on Dad's 70 Camaro. He's got some Mickey Thompson valve covers that I got him. I did the same thing except for I painted his engine color, and yeah, I did the same thing. Exposed the fins, exposed the Mickey Thompson, the MT. So the black is kind of a classic, I would say probably 70s thing, I believe. So this should fit the 70 pickup pretty well. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. I actually had to sand this one a little bit because it had chunks all over it. I'm not sure why. It was just this side, so I had to kind of sand it down and did a little bit of touch up. Should be okay once I get the clear on this. Again, using the satin clear on that. Getting ready to do that right now. But yeah, pretty happy with that. I got another video doing Dad's, if you want to go check that out. I went a little further. I don't think I quite polished his out, but it's more than I did here. But you can go check that one out if you want. I think I show you what I use. This time I just used some, I think 120 grit, which is really too aggressive, but that's all I got. And then I took some 320 and I kind of sanded it down, but would have liked to have had something a little finer to work with. But this'll work. I'm gonna get this done tonight, and I'll be able to move on. Can always come back and change this if I want. Next winter, whatever, when the truck's being parked, you know, can always change it. But I really like this, so I'm gonna get this cleared, and then we'll show you what it looks like. It's not gonna look too different because, like I said, the clear it's a satin clear. So okay, so I'm happier with that. There's still some smaller debris in that, but it is what it is. Painting in the shop here, I don't think you're gonna get away from that unless you have a really nice paint booth. Even then, I think they still get debris in there, but it would limit it. But I'm happy with it. Okay, so I'm kind of just test fitting these on the engine. I've got one side on. Just pulled the other side off. And these covers are really stuck on the motor. I actually had to use the screwdriver to pry up. I had to use 2 screwdrivers so I wouldn't tear up the aluminum heads. But once I'm in here, it looks like they have Comp Cam's roller rockers under there. I thought they had their own roller rockers that they used, but apparently not. It says 1.6, so I'm guessing that's 1.6 ratio Comp Cam roller rockers. So yeah, I was kind of interested to see what they had under here. They have their BluePrint, their guides. They do have them are their own push rod guides there. So yep, it is all roller. So everything looks nice and oily. So I'm going to get these covers on here and we'll take a look. I can't get them on because I need a longer bolt, actually a really long bolt, like 1.25 inches, because for some reason these threads are really deep in these heads. So, and then the aluminum is a lot thicker than the steel ones that they had on there. So that's another reason. But as soon as I get them, I got new gaskets. I just went with some nice cork gaskets. So yeah, let's get it fit on here and we'll take a look at the final product, I guess. Okay, so they're just sitting on there, like I said. They're not quite in the right spot either because they keep falling. I don't have a gasket. I don't have bolts in it. But there's the look. I think the orange and the black actually go really well together. The Holley logo with the Holley 850 and the Holley fuel pressure gauge. I think it has a very 70s look to it, I think, minus the aluminum heads. You wouldn't have had a whole lot of vehicles with aluminum heads back in the 70s probably, but yeah, I like it. I really like it. So I got to give this paint, I don't have to, but I want to give this paint some time to kind of cure and get hard. So it's going to be probably a few days before I get back to this, but now that I got all this taken care of, I can actually start putting it together. So look for that video shortly, hopefully next week, but we'll see. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the little painting video on the Holley valve covers. I'll see you guys.